the nightmare of the school system. Let's talk about that. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Alma Valentino and I'm the host of my channel, Let's Talk About That. And today, we're having a class for the class makers. We've all seen all of these teachers trying to be the friend of the class, the cool girl, the cool guy, the they, them, following the trends on TikTok, with their cell phones in the middle of the class, recording their conversation with the kids, actively seeking for approval. Just all so weird. So I thought to myself, Alma, what can we do about this? Well, how cool would it be to just lay out maybe just 10 points so we can help these people remember how to behave in a classroom. Let's start. First of all, and most importantly, your opinion is not curricula. Especially, you cannot share your opinion if you're talking to prepubescent childs, because they're not even ready to have a discussion or a debate with you if you're trying to lay your opinion in the table to, share, discuss, and maybe promote a debate. You do that when they're 15, maybe in the appropriate classroom with the appropriate rules and laying out clearly what you're doing. Number 2, personal beliefs are not curricula. So wherever you believe in is not for you to teach in your classroom. This goes to whether you believe or not in vaccines, whether you believe or not in science, whether you believe or not in gender, and all of these things that shouldn't even be called beliefs, but today they are. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, there is a very interesting episode in the Unapologetic show by Amala, where she sits with, let me think, I know the name, Blossom and Buck Angel. And at a point she says, well, that's science, not an opinion, it's not the same. And Blossom goes, well, it kind of is. Bitch, for real? Number 3, your personal life, it's not curricula. It's not for you to teach or share with your classroom. It doesn't matter how old they are, if they're boys or girls, or what your principal or their parents think. Your personal life, it's not a matter of discussion in a classroom. Keep it to yourself. Your kids have nothing to do with your personal life, what you do with your time, and they shouldn't even know. In my day, you didn't know anything about your teacher. Anything. It's not the space, it's not the people, it's not the time. You're supposed to be teaching math, history, chemistry, biology, so much needed, and so many other things that are included in the curricula of your country. Your personal life is not there. Believe me, nobody cares. Number 4, your religion. Your religion is not curricula, and it's not your place to share it with your students. If someone asks, yeah, sure, you can answer the question, but it's not up to you to teach your religion to other kids. It's not the place, it's not the time, and it's not part of the curricula that your government established. If you think you're able to do any of these things because you're a teacher, you're wrong. Go back to school, go back to college. You wouldn't like anyone else teaching the opposite opinions, religion, or personal beliefs to your own kids. Don't do that to other people's kids. It's not right. 5. Sex, gender, and any sexual behavior has no place in a classroom. I'm gonna say it again. Sex, gender, and any sexual behavior has no place in a classroom, either coming from the teacher or from other students. It's not the place, it's not the time, and it's not part of the curricula. If you're getting angry at me because this is transphobic, do this exercise. Remove the non-binary, trans, gay, LGBTQ+, whatever member, and replace it with a white heterosexual man teaching sex, gender, or sexual behaviors to your kids. Does it sound disgusting? Yes. Why? Because it is. Kids are not meant to learn these kind of things from you. Are you worried about how are going to behave or if they understand what's going on with their bodies? Teach them biology. That's part of the curricula. 6, and very, very important, your students are not your children. Your students are not your daughters and sons. They are your students. You can love them very much and protect them and be there for them, but they are not your children. You are not to raise them. You are not to raise them. You are to teach them. Number 7. You are to disclose information with the parents. It is not okay to keep information from the parents. If anything happens in your classroom, you are to disclose this information with the parents. 8. If you think a kid is being abused at home, and by this I mean he has bruises, he's malnourished, he's showing psychological signs, he's showing physical signs of psychological abuse, such as he's peeing himself, for example, there are tools available for you and experts to disclose this information to. Not going by their chosen pronouns, it's not abuse. It's the parent's choice, because remember, your students are not your children. It's not for you to raise them, and you are to disclose any information with the parents. If you feel you can't disclose this information with the parents because somehow you have the suspicion this kid is being abused, or you're going to break some sort of confidentiality, there are many instances and experts you can redirect this child to. Look for support and information so you can take the right decision and you can act according to. It's not for you to advise the child and tell him what to do. These kids are not your children. 9. You are not to seek validation from your students. They're not your friends. They're not your kids. They're your students. How old are you? Now really, how old are you that you're seeking approval from these kids? Go and seek approval from your family, from your husband or your wife, from your boss, from your friends, not from your students. They are not of your business. They are not your kids. And they are not at pair with you. They are kids. They're 20 years younger than you are. It's not okay. It's ridiculous. And you're gonna lose your status at the classroom. You are their teacher, not their friend. Number 10. Keep your phone out of the classroom. This is in no way appropriate behavior. You shouldn't be recording your classes. You should be worried your kids, your students, are learning what they're supposed to be learning, because they will graduate and they will need that knowledge that you are not providing right now. And as a bonus, final statement. If this was not clear, if a kid goes to you for your advice regarding the subject, you can listen, but you are not to give your personal view or advice. You are to disclose this with the parents, and if not possible, you move to the appropriate authority at the school to take proper action. It is important that the kid feels heard and that he has a voice. It is not okay for you to intervene. It is not your family, and you don't know what's going on at home. So be very careful. You might make more damage than help this kid. Stay away, be available, listen, and then search and seek for the proper help this kid might need. These are the things a good teacher should be doing at this classroom. Anything else is propaganda. And as a parent, if you're watching this, keep an eye on these guys. Because if they're going out of these 10 points that I just read to you, they are indoctrinating your kid. Or your kid might be in the danger of being indoctrinated by them. It is not appropriate behavior for a teacher. Keep an eye on them. And if you're a young teacher and your senior teachers at school, your senior colleagues are behaving in the opposite way, don't follow their example. Do what you were supposed to do when you're meant to do and what you were taught to do at university. And if someone is trying to convince you that you have more power over these kids than their parents do, they are very, very wrong. And that is a path that is very dangerous, and you are not going to take responsibility for what's coming out of this situation. You will disappear from these kids' lives, but their family will be there forever. So don't mess up with kids that are not your own. And that will be all for today in our class for the class makers. Thank you everyone once again for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. If I may ask, please consider doing the YouTube things, subscribe, give it a like, and please, if it doesn't bother you that much, leave a comment so I can actually talk and dialogue, because you cannot have a dialogue in an empty room. You can only echo. Thank you. I love you everyone, and see you on the next one. Bye.